And you don't want to do a flipped classroom where participation is not graded. And what's the incentive for students to prepare? All right. Now, on Thursdays, we'll actually play Jeopardy. Those of you who took my classes before, you know about it. Bryce, Tanner, Tapscott. Uh, I will kind of go through it a little bit. It's kind of a modified Jeopardy game where we select groups. Okay. In your case, there's going to be only 4 groups anyway. That means every Jeopardy day, everybody's competing. And you'll kind of go in a random order. Let's say you're group 1. Okay. You say, okay, can I have mixed topics for 400, Alex? It comes up. You think about it. You give an answer. Uh, we also designate somebody as a designated challenger. So Dalrymple here, let's say he is the designated challenger. And, Bryce said, or Bryce's group said, the answer is D. You have 3 options. You can agree with that answer. If they're correct, you get 1 point. If they're incorrect, you get 0. You can disagree with it. Disagreements, I know they're wrong. I just don't want to commit to correct answer. I don't know what the correct answer is. I just know they're wrong. If they're right, you get 0. If they're wrong, you get 1. Or you could challenge them, which means not only I know they're wrong, I also know the right answer. If they're right, you get negative 0.5. So there's a cost to it. If you're right, you get 1.5 points. It's essentially 50% bump. If you're both wrong, you both get 0. That's it. Then the rest of you, through a little Google form I have, do perform exactly the same thing except silently. And the weights are different. The group, the questions that you answer as the group counts 4 times as much. The answer you answer as designated challenger 3 times as much, and the silent challenger 1. And I want everybody to do it, even the group members. You may change your opinion, or somebody in your group may want to disagree with you guys. You can challenge your own group if you choose to do so. All right? Then, we tally them up. Oh, at the end of the tournament, the group that won that day's tournament gets their group points multiplied by 1.25. So let's say you answered 5 questions, you answer them all correct, you will get normally 5 out of 5, but they count as 4, so 20 out of 20. But I'm going to multiply that with 125, which means you're going to get, what is that? 24 out of 20. If there's a tie, they divide that extra 25% bump. So you have incentives. The way we determine the winners is based on degree of difficulty. Whether or not it's a 100 question or 500 question, for grade purposes, they're all worth 1 point. But to determine who is the winner, if you get a 500 question right, you get 500 geos. If you get them wrong, you get negative 500 geos. Then we add up your geos, that determines the winner. Of course, as we're implementing it, Excel is gonna do it automatically because I also developed, I haven't finalized it yet, but it looks something like this. I don't know if it's here. Come on. No? Yeah, I think it's here. No, no, no. Yeah, it looks something like this. I'm still, I'm gonna do a few changes to it, but it'll be ready by the time we first play it. It will automatically keep the score, and top two scores are colored differently. So if you're the top, it's going to be red. If you're the second high, it's going to be green. I'll also show you how to do that sort of stuff. You know, you have a list of four and you want to highlight the top two. I always view Excel as actually a communication device. Okay? A lot of things I'm doing here is basic representation. It doesn't have to be a PowerPoint. And you can communicate a lot of things with little pictures, little icons, colors, as long as, you know, people are, I don't think, oh, it's here. I also incorporate the actual sheet so that I can open it from there. Once I open it, I can hide it. I'll show you guys some of those tricks. All right. And we will also have a comprehensive final exam. You can think of Jeopardy as your weekly exam activity in a sense. And the way I want to do the grades, 10% attendance. This is direct. Okay. And if you come late, this means once I am done taking the attendance, then you're marked late. As you can see, I have penalties for that. So if you come late, I'm going to mark you 1/3 of a day absent. We'll talk about excuses. If you leave the class early without permission, you're going to get 1/4 day penalty for that. Right? Now, in terms of what counts an excuse, valid university excuses. Okay. In any case, especially if you're going to be late, let me know. And if you come late without letting me know ahead of time, or once you come late, you can tell me this has happened. I can let you know. We can undo late arrival points. But if you let me know ahead of time that you're running late, then I won't mark you as late, right? And if you leave early without telling me, but maybe you didn't forget about it, you're in an emergency, again, we can correct those later. Uh, I didn't feel like coming is not a valid university excuse. But if you let me know ahead of time, I'll let you get away with 2 times of not having to provide documentation. Okay. But you have to let me know ahead of time. You said, okay, I can't come today. I said, okay, you don't have to provide documentation. But these are your 2 jokers. You may want to save them for somebody someday later. If you already have the documentation, don't use them. Don't spend them. I'll go into more detail in the syllabus. But this is direct. And we're going to do 30% Jeopardy. Actually, 25%. Okay. The way I set these things up, it's technically on a PowerPoint, but it has embedded videos, embedded little quizzes, and if you do not pass the quiz, you cannot go to the next slide.